even if it's not true, I still think it is pretty safe, right? I know for sure it's probably not
It is.
fixed.
That's the point that I was trying to make. You see, in New York City, some people consider it like probably a safe city. It's not, because muggings happen, shootings happen, but in Erbil that doesn't happen.
Yeah, and I'd say a big reason for that. You know what I'm going to say, don't you?
No.
Oh, good. So a big reason for that is like, look, a lot of people carry guns. Okay.
Yeah.
Now, wait. The fact that you're living in a country or a city that you know that if you were to go into a house, and if you were to go into that house, there's probably a guy with a shalwar on and he's got a shotgun ready. You're probably not going to go into burgle that house, right?
Of course.
But if you knew that...
So you're saying people in New York don't have guns?
New York is actually really, really strict on guns. So
you think that's the reason why they have?
No. I think there's a lot of reasons why New York is
maybe
it's very urbanized.
Maybe it's the NYPD. They don't have good training.
Maybe.
Brooklyn Nine-Nine.
Oh right. Well, look, there's a lot of reasons for it. I mean, it's really packed for one, right? If someone is...
It's very diverse.
Is diverse, but what is that a problem? Is that a bad thing?
I'm trying to get some things out of you.
Out of me, huh? No, look, that might be your opinion on
it.
Right? Maybe it is, maybe it isn't. But the truth is, yeah, it's diverse, and you could say diverse, and at the same time say it's not assimilated well either. I don't know how New York is. Okay, you probably know a bit more. You're planning to go, right? Mm-hmm. Why are you planning to go again?
I'm gonna study art.
You're gonna study art in New York, right? And that's
hopefully.
Wait. So the university's in Harlem?
Yes, it's one of. It's a very old university in Harlem. It's called City College of New York.
Right.
And it was. I discovered that it was a college for only men until very, very late, like 1960s.
Damn.
Yeah.
Very, very late. My dad wasn't born in 1960.
But that's very late feminism-wise.
Feminism-wise? But when was the first wave feminist?
Well, I guess for America, it's not very late. When did women get to vote in America? 50s?
When was that? 50s, probably.
Let me fact check
Even
that.
if it is, like, but I'm not going to lie, like, all-men university sounds pretty crazy.
Crazy?
Yeah.
I mean, women didn't go to universities back then.
True. They had different roles. Do we have all-male universities here?
Not universities. Not universities. Although I think we have vocational schools, post-high school.
Right.
I think we might have that, but I don't think we have universities. Actually, it was 1920 they got to vote. Yeah.
So first wave feminism with Simone de Beauvoir.
Ah.
Is that how you say her name?
Simone de Beauvoir. I think.
Okay. So that in the United States came suffrage 1918.
Yeah, 1920.
1920, yeah.
Is when they got to vote, yeah.
Yeah, so even like 60 years after that.
This Muslims use this argument because women in Islam have apparently, allegedly been able to vote way before American women.
American women?
Yeah, and they use that as, in fact, like, Islam gave women rights way before the West did.
Like 5 years ago. Not even 5 years ago, 2 or 3 years ago. Saudi women weren't allowed to drive.
Exactly.
Is that what you're going to say?
Yeah. Well, no, but like, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that's like one of many things.
They still can't travel without a male. I cannot go to a passport place, and I cannot get a passport without a guardian and a male.
Like your dad or...
Yeah, or my brother or my uncle.
Or your brother, right. But funnily enough, ironically, apparently I have a cousin that lives in Saudi. She's part of one of the expats because she came from London. And she was like, there's actually a lot of privileges to being a woman there as well. She doesn't condone it.
No, I know.
But she says, ironically, look, when I go to get my pizza, because they don't want me to be standing around there the whole time because, people are going to look at me, right? They get the pizza straight away or they get served first, sort of.
But is that really a privilege?
Well, if you're hungry, yeah.
We have that privilege here with the lines for bread. When you go to stand in a line for bread, there's a separate line for women, and usually it's not as crowded.
Is that actually true?
It used to be, maybe? It's true in Erbil, like it's a lot more than Sully, but we have that in Sully as well. Especially places that are made by Arabs.
Right.
Because that's a thing in Baghdad. So I've experienced that. It is nice. Like when I go and all these men are waiting in line and I'm like, can I have some bread? And I get like bread. But then it's not worth it, you know, when you lose the important rights for privileges like that. It's not worth it.
Look, at the end of the day, we know that in Erbil especially, which is I'm still baffled to see why it's safe when, you know, a girl can't go on the streets because their parents think it's not safe enough for them to go
It's
out,
not just it's not safe enough. There is a mainstream idea about taxis in Erbil and how they make women uncomfortable, how they harass them, even by expats, by like women living there. I have never experienced anything bad in a taxi in Sully, but I was in a taxi once in Erbil.
Serious?
And like the guy made me uncomfortable.
Trying to hit on you, sort of thing.
Yeah.
Right.
And I was like,
yeah, I mean,
I need to get out.
I think taxis are a very good way. I don't want to generalize people in Erbil, but like the average person of that city, like the middle lower class of a certain place, right? Like every time, like you can tell how the average Joe or the average said that is doing in Slimani when you get in a taxi, and almost always, I don't blame them at all. They're always depressed. How often do you speak to a taxi?
I haven't been in a taxi in a very long time.
Me neither, but like my cousin was the other day and he kept saying every time they're negative.
There was a meme on Twitter the last week, and it was like me, like, hi, taxi driver, I hate Hukmat, you know? or me, hi, taxi driver, I'm Qayranana or some shit. Like, they just start.
Yeah, like, I hate Kurdistan, whatever it is. It's like a starter pack to being a taxi driver.
Yeah.
Like, before they give you the license, do you hate your life? Yes, I'll take this. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's crazy. But, yeah, I mean, you look at it here, you look at it there. I definitely say we're a lot more safe here. Like, the other day, I was with Rejwan and Gilles. It was like 1, 2 a.m. We were in Bazaar, or, you know, eating brinjan shla as we do sometimes. We saw a girl, like, you know, walking past in Bazaar, in the middle of Bazaar. And we were confused, right? Because, like, at the end of the day, you don't usually see that. But we did. And it's getting a lot better, and I'm really happy about that.
Yeah.
So maybe we should have been fifth, not Erbil.
Erbil might be one of the safest cities in Iraq. But
this is, sorry, I was about to read that one out.
You're reading the same.
Awir Juan Roy, that's the guy who made. You can read out his name. Go on.
Okay, Erbil might be one of the safest cities in Iraq, but how is it safe when you have honor killings every other day, or when the people there can't fully express their opinions because the ruling political party threatens or kills them? Freedom of speech is also a part of safety. I mean, he has a point.
That's a good point. That's a good damn point. I think I'm gonna like that myself. There you go, Ariad. He's right. I mean, I guess that is a part of safety, because if you say freedom of speech, the contrary would be not being, not being able to speak at gunpoint, right? Exactly. If you don't say that, you'll get shot. We've had journalists being killed here, and
we had. I've never.
You've never heard?
No.
Sardash Osman.
Oh yeah, I've heard of that.
Yeah. I mean, I guess that was a long time ago, but we don't want to forget about the ones that are 6 feet deep. But apart from that, we don't see many we did see a car bombing the other month, wasn't it?
It wasn't. I'm not aware of that.
It was, remember?
But no, the car bomb, like, there hasn't been a car bombing in Erbil since years. Like, I think a year or two ago.
Wait, something happened, like last year or something? What was that?
Car bombing, Erbil. Search on Twitter.
Yeah, you'll definitely find it, but when?
Okay, but this is funny. This guy says Mahmoud, his name is Mahmoud, his username is DCE_98. Top 5 most dangerous and bloody countries. Number 1, Afghanistan. 2, Guatemala. 3, Mexico. 4, Syria. 5, Iraq. Okay? And then the 5 safest cities are Abu Dhabi, Doha, Osaka, Quebec, and Erbil. So Iraq is one of the most dangerous cities in the countries in the world. But Erbil is one of the top safest cities.
Hey, look, if it was true, right, then we'd have to give props to the KRG for keeping us safe.